Hey, 8th grade history, it is Wednesday, and we are halfway through this week. We are talking about post-war America, post-war the world, and there's one very important thing that happens in 1948. If you remember, we talked about during World War II that we actually worked with China. The Flying Tigers were American pilots who were actually working with the Chinese to fight the Japanese. And in those days, China was a capitalist country run by a guy by the name of Chiang Kai-shek. So Chiang Kai-shek is running China. He's very pro-American, loves the Americans. Everything's great. Everything's good. And then in 1948, a guy by the name of Mao Zedong takes over China and makes it communist. And China is communist to this very day. And so we were worried about, again, Cold War, after the war, what's going to happen with the Russians. Now, all of a sudden, the Chinese become communist. Now, the problem is there's just a billion Chinese. 1 out of every 7 people that lives on this planet is Chinese. And so now we have 3 superpowers. We have the United States, we have the Soviet Union, and we have China, 2 of which are communist. And so now we got to play one against the other. And for about 40 years, we did that. The Russians became not communist anymore. I think the actual Russia is what's called socialist, which is kind of like a light version of communism. It's not communism, but it's not capitalism, somewhere in that weird in-between place. But China is very much communist. Now, over the last few years, they've kind of lightened up on that. 1972, Richard Nixon goes to China and kind of talks them into, hey, can we lighten up on the communism just a little bit? And now you can actually go to Beijing, China, and get you can get a bucket of Colonel Sanders chicken. You can go get some Kentucky Fried Chicken in Beijing. Why? Of course, keep in mind that the masks, some of that we got to fight the coronavirus, that came from China. The masks came from China too. So keep that in mind. Anyway, just another little tidbit, history tidbit from me to you. Lessons from the back porch. Anyway, hope you're having a great day. Have a great week.